I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the best rapper in L.A.Podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though?
What up, y'all? I only got halfway through. Man, the song's called Paris.
I ain't never been to Nice. When I finally slide through, I make a baby on the beach. Hand on the ass, sand on the shaft. Tourists taking pictures of my hairy black ass. American asshole, still well traveled. Every time I hit customs, it's a motherfucking hassle. Newcastle when the pint glass foaming. In a French nightclub, fighting Romans. Shout out to Tammy Abram, hillest nigga on the mic, yup, word to your moms. If he got a 9, if she got a 9, I'm miles out in Paris with the B.Dion. Cover up my human nature, cause it's starting to rise. Trumpet played the trumpet when she parted her thighs. I screamed toward the skies when I came, there were clouds. In the 1940s, we all came by the crowd. A medium for freedom, art be the only reason my people even get shown love by Europeans. But hey, I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. Shout out to Queen Josephine, cause she opened the doors. We getting money in Lyon.
Second verse is just some lewd Mr. Len and Murs shit. I usually say the foulest shit around him because he seems like a clean-cut guy, but he's not. I don't know. He is a clean-cut guy. Maybe he just makes me want to say perverted, weird, funny shit. Nice, there's a picture of Sunspot Jones on the beach in Nice. I think there's a girl in like the background or something. I don't think he was with the girl. Or Mystic Journeyman. Maybe it's both of them. But they put it in the UHB magazine, which I've talked about here. And when I first met them, and they had been to Europe, and they have an album called Children of the Night. And these motherfuckers are so good live that when they went to Europe the second time, I believe, it's their story to tell, but it's an amazing story. That's why the term living legends really works. Second time they're in Europe, they do a live performance on a radio station called Villa Live 195 or 85, I don't know, something like that. And they perform this on Steps of Survival, which I believe was on the 4001 EP. But the live version is just mwah on the radio.
You damn trampoline sucker.
I'm gonna ask all my peoples that know to tell me, Amsterdam,
tell me,
am I dreaming?
Hey yo, tell me, am I
dreaming? Hey, pizza lady, could it be? I think I smell it. I throw them up now. You throw them up now. I throw them up now. You throw them up now. I throw them up now. You throw them up now. I throw them up now. Y'all, it's like let's go. I went from high school to no school with all eyes. Broken coaches heart in my failure. Yes, I'm caught by my pops in 1991. Working at some dead-end jobs for spending weekends. Watch this. Because I want to know what turning what's left. Oh, a young black male. I was the kind of fool in year-round sports.
And it just became a hit in the Bay, and it's what they put on their actual album. The thought, the forethought, the bravery. I mean, I'm sure maybe they were inspired by BDP Live and Worldwide, which I always wanted to buy, but I never got a chance to.
Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. Well, today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience is bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mix.
But they're a little older, so they probably rock with that. But it was great, man. I had never heard anything like that. But that made it real, like, oh shit, I could tell they're performing in another country and they're performing in English, and their performances, their live performance is the best. And I could tell that it got through to the people even. So I wasn't thinking, I know I can go to Europe because I'm going to have a dope performance. It doesn't matter if they speak English because I want to rock. True MCing transcends language barriers because it's still music, which is a universal language. And music is more emotion than it. Like I was listening to the Mexican again. Can't get enough of that fucking song lately, especially with breaking coming out of the Olympics.
Back to
doesn't matter what she's saying. It matters that she's there and matters what she's saying, but it doesn't matter what she's saying. It's how she's saying it. It's the pitch. It's the, that's what it is. You just be in the moment with the words and the music, and it can transcend language barriers. And I think Mystic Journeyman showed me that in more ways than one. And the picture was one of them, that recording was one of them, and seeing their performance before I even saw them overseas, I knew that type of performance could move anyone on any continent that was alive. Because it moved me. It made me say, fuck it, Mom. I don't care if you're not going to give me a place to live. I don't care if we don't talk. I don't care if you don't love me anymore, which is impossible. But in my mind, I don't care. I got to go do this thing. They can do it. I can do it. And not in that way that it was easy, but if I work hard enough, I could do it. He had this picture in the magazine of him in Nice, because there was no Instagram, but this is like, I've never seen a beach like this. I'm a beach kid, West Coast, East Coast. I love the beach. Even at the point I've been in the beach in Cancun, I've never seen a beach like this. The rock formation, I could tell, like, this is the shit you see in encyclopedias, guys. Remember those? Like, this is, like, if you look up Nice in the encyclopedia, this is the picture, just without his black ass in it. And I still have never been to Nice. And it's a goal of mine to go to Nice, because they went to Nice on that trip. But it wasn't like we had shul. Like, when I went with them, I think we're going to Nice, and we mostly stayed in orphanages in the Netherlands, in the projects in Groningen, like in abandoned buildings in Cologne, in lofts with French girls in Hamburg, like in Trier, Germany, where they had Snoop Dogg written on a wall, fucking 5 feet tall. I wish I still had the picture, in a small town on like an old castle. Someone wrote Snoop Doggy Dog in black spray paint in Trier, which is like the border of Germany and France. That's the closest I got to France that first time. I think I stepped my toe over. But they're like soldiers on both sides, rocking the border or protecting the border, like walking. It wasn't aggressive, but like, I remember that. But I never made it to Nice as advertised, because we didn't have control, and I still haven't made it to Nice. So I'm going to Nice, but this is where I'm at, where I'm starting this verse. And foolishly talking about making another baby. Yeah. American asshole, still well traveled. Every time I hit customs, it's a motherfucking hassle. Pre 9/11, hopefully we'll never get back to that. You'll never know what it was like to travel and be black. Even black people will never know. There's a verse Slug bought for me that I don't know if he ever put out. He said it was so good, he was just going to buy it from me right now for $1. He bought a verse for me for like felt 3 or felt 4 or something. But in it, I say something like, it's something my ID wise is how I would hate to be Brother Ali right now, talking about traveling like around 9/11. Because, like, like, I am not the type of piece of shit that can know that certain other people are suffering, and if it makes it easier for me, good. That is the essence of bad capitalism. So my Muslim brothers and sisters, my political, on the Comic-Con, at Comic-Con, that guy come up to me and hand me a comic and say, look, my life has been under threat for 30 years, and the music you make and what you're seeing and you guys do inspires me. I just talked to Salman Rushdie, blah, blah, blah. I did this and I signed this thing for you and I gave this to you because I want you to have it, because you keep me fueled. You keep what I do going. And it was deep, man. People like that are suffering. People who can't be quiet in the face of injustice and strife. And I salute them in their struggle. So I'm not, but back in the day, and still some foreign countries, it's a fucking, oh my God, bro. And you've heard some of the stories here. But it doesn't let me stop it. But I American asshole, because, I was in Europe eating chicken McNuggets and blaring gangster rap in Australia. Like, I'm an asshole. I'm an American. Everything stereotypical about America. I'm some of that too. I'm self-aware.
American asshole, still well traveled. Every time I hit customs, it's a motherfucking hassle. Newcastle in the pint glass foaming, in a French nightclub fighting Romans.
Newcastle in a pint glass foaming. Got familiar with Newcastle over the years thanks to overseas and the East Coast tours. And traveling also helped me figure out how much Like with East Coast, West Coast beef, it makes so much sense. Like New York, Boston, like New York, New Jersey, like New Jerusalem, like all the, like, they're more like Europe than they are like California in some mannerisms, architecture, culture, weather. So that's definitely something. Being a well-traveled American asshole, I'm like, oh man, we're on this huge continent, or landmass, and we're mad different than them motherfuckers over there. Pint glass. I still haven't been to a pub during a footy match and watched. I want to have a proper pint, watch a proper football match in a British pub. And at this point, it's probably be a Welsh or a Scottish or Irish pub. So I'm really fond of those folks. But Tammy Abraham is a very tall, British-born, I believe Nigerian descendant, but his name Tammy Abraham. And I used to fancy myself a Chelsea fan in soccer, and he played for them. I just love watching him play. He's like tall, awkward, shouldn't be able to move like that, but it does. He plays for Rome now, AS Roma. And I got one of those jerseys, so they sent me a jersey for a video, for the These Hands video. If you see it, really nice. Fit me well, if I must so say so myself. Super fan of his, but definitely support Napoli. Naples is very different than Rome. I've never been to Rome. Naples is the south of Italy, and they do not, a lot of the people, especially hip-hop, like, they do not vibe. It's like East Coast, West Coast. They don't vibe with the North. It's different dialect, different accent, different slang. And someone just posted, I never, like, if you go to Naples, it's not what you think Italy is. I felt like I was in Brazil and, like, in the favelas sometimes. Shit is real. The mafia is real. The food is real great. The bags are fake. The homies are like, don't buy nothing from Versace here. It is all fake. The mob takes all of it. Like, it was amazing. We kept paying a toll crossing the bridge. Dude was like, what? I was like, why are we paying a toll? Like, I feel like we're paying too much. Like, how much? And they're like, mob. We got to the parking lot at the club. These are like, it looks, it's hard to explain to anyone who's not traveled, but it was hard for me to digest. Like, it's a modern city. A lot of these cities are modern in the midst of architecture that's older than our oldest city, than St. Augustine, Florida, the first city in America. I'm going to why I know that later, but they got 200, 300 years on St. Augustine, on America. But it's still like a nightclub. Like, you walk into this place, the juxtaposition of the age of the construction and the culture is like, wow. And technology is just wow. So we pull up to the club and it's like old. It looks like an old town, and dude's charging us. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Parking for this? They're not charging parking for this, bro. They're like, mob. I was like, he's not going to valet it? Nope. But if you don't pay, your car won't be here. That's crazy. Doesn't work at the club, but they probably run the club too. Naples is crazy. So I love Napoli. I love the vibe. Like, I just, like, when you get around being a person from oppressed people, considered lower class just by the color of my skin where I live, I fuck with the south of Italy. They fuck with me, and I fuck with them. We had a great time. And so I'm definitely a Napoli fan when it comes to soccer. That was a long way of saying that. So I have no allegiance when it comes to that. I like Tammy Abraham. He's one of my favorite players. I just like that his name is Tammy Abraham in English.
Spalle alla porta, prova a girarsi, ancora Abraham, Roma in vantaggio al 33esimo, la sblocca il 9 che torna al gol e segna una rete importantissima per i giallorossi.
Napoli are the champions of Italy. They have dominated Serie A from start to finish.
You're listening, in a high class form. Like, part of me wants to get I'm too old, but I used to want to just get in a proper, I don't know what they call, ruck or row or some type, whatever they call fights in pubs. Like, fighting, it just seems fun. I don't want to fight LAFC, LA Galaxy, like Americans. We have too many guns and that shit is stupid. But in Britain, I feel like it's just a good fight, bro. Like, good, solid fight, At most, somebody gets stabbed. I don't want to be getting stabbed, but just loud, throw a chair, throw a fucking beer glass and Like, but like having people like your team and there, you could tell it seemed like fun. Now my hair is too long. My joints ache and shit like that. So no thank you. But it was a dream. Now I just want to watch the match. Maybe call somebody a cunt or something like that. Oi, cunt. And something, then fucking move on. Bugger off.
New research from a group of top British academics has found that 98% of British people think the current UK government is full of absolute fucking cunts who couldn't govern a fucking cake.
I don't know if I said the story here. We were on tour, and I was doing an interview for Double XL, and I had this motherfucking Tyler, golf jersey. Tyler, the creator's clothing line. I bought or I think maybe somebody gave me one. I think I may have bought this, so I think I bought a soccer jersey. And it was the wrong colors. And this bar we were performing at, our pub we were performing at, or this place we were performing had a pub. It's like one of the multiplex. It had a couple pubs, couple of music venues, but you had to go through the pub to get to the venue and the backstage. And I guess it was after a soccer match, and the stadium was right across the street, and it was like red and white stripes. And I guess that was the enemy's color. Bro, I'm not fucking with Eastern. We're in Poland. I'm not fucking with Eastern Europe. In Krakow, bro. It was about to crack off in Krakow. Motherfuckers looked at me like, and I'm black, and that's the thing too. Like, I know people sometimes say, it's not always about race. Motherfucker, I know when it's about race, and I know when it's not. I've been in Poland for a couple of days now. I know what it's like for them to see a black person walk in. And this is also not dreaded Murs. So it's not that astounding. I know when it's my hair, I can kind of tell when it's just because I'm black. And this was, what are you wearing, bro? What fuck's going on, man? Like, oh, man. I thought, and I think once they got closer and they saw, there's a fucking cat and it says golf, and okay. But from far away, just walking in with a red and white striped jersey with whatever team they didn't like over it, bruh. It was about, and I could have been a Croatian, Serbian, there's so much shit, Bosnian, I don't know what the fuck, Slovakian death trap I was about to walk into, but bro, I felt it. And Eastern European men with Poland is where it starts to change over. Like Russians, Poland's, the no neck fucking boulder headed motherfuckers, bro. Or hands like fucking oven mitt fisted ass motherfuckers, bro. Oh man. Critical beatdown, no ultramagnetic.
Can we still do it? Shout out to Tammy Brown, hear this nigga on the mic, yup. Word to your moms, if he got a 9, if she got a 9.
It was nigga on the mic, word to your mom. If he got a 9, then she. It's one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite MCs. Shout out to Drez.
If you got a 9, and 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 he got a 9, and she got a 9. Well, it's a motherfucking party, yo, cause I got mine, so what's the black sheep wear? Here, there, everywhere, there's a Jeep, there's a sheep beating up the air. Graphic as an infrating, frustrating like wait, the sheep are a joke.
Just one of those moments, Drez from the Black Sheep, him seeing me in a club, I think he was like, I don't know, it was a Z-Trip show or something. And him yo, oh no, it was Mr. Long got me into the club, and then Drez acknowledged me from the stage. I couldn't get in. My name wasn't on the list. And Drez, Mr. Long from Black Sheep was like, yo, that's Murs. And I'm like, you're Mr. Long from Black Sheep. What the fuck?
I'm the sugar dick daddy, Mr. Long.
Amazing feeling, man. When your people you grew up listening to recognize you and acknowledge you as a peer. And Drez saw me in the crowd singing along, was really kind. But that's one of my favorite lines from him, a song called Roll With The Flavor, which is kind of a dope song. It's a posse cut for Flavor Unit, like Queen Latifah, Tretch, Apache, Freddie Fox, burn marks on my hip from my twin Glocks. That was his famous line. The line that stole the show.
I'm afraid of the fact I break it back and buck them down. You know my rapper got a record like the Turnpike. When I was young, they used to call me Freddie Burn Mike. But now they call me Big Fox Daddy Boot Knock. With burn marks on my hips from my twin Glock.
But Drez had a line in there, and he did a Sesame. And Drez is at that point to me was like a Sesame Street. He looked like the dude to me that steals the letters, the letter bandit that used to be on Sesame Street. He had that vibe. I don't know why. Sneaky dope, Dominican looking motherfucker, bro. I don't know. You look at Drez, but he's not supposed to be a dope MC. That's what I mean by sneaky dope. He's just oh, this motherfucker with the curly top got bars, bro. What the fuck? But at this part, and like, I guess I never thought that until like in this video, he's like, if he got a 9, then she got a 9, then it's a motherfucking party, yo, because I got mine. So give me like, but he was passing out the number 9s like Sesame Street in the video. And I was like, yo, like Freddie Fox was like, blah, 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 really kill you, beat you up. Like we all know Freddie Fox fuck you up, like type shit. And I'm like, okay. And then this motherfucker came out with, if he got a 9, then she like, you're like, okay, because everybody's so fucking tough in the world. Like the balance, man. Like Freddie Fox is not trying to be a tough guy. He's very authentically who the fuck he is, you know? And Drez, like having to be on this, not having, but being on the same song wanted to, I think, balance it out. Because it's never poking fun at the motherfuckers that are really that. It's the motherfuckers that act like they are that aren't is the problem. I just felt that vibe, man. Because like Tretch and Freddie Fox on the song, like two very, very reputable, thorough individuals that'll eat your lunch. But Drez still being himself, adding levity is what I always admired about him. And not beating you over, like Sneaky though, like not beating you over the head with how dope he is. It was just like, oh shit, did this motherfucker just say that casually and just move on?
I'm miles out in Paris with the pt.2. Cover up my human nature cause it's starting to rise. Trumpet played the trumpet when she parted her thighs. I screamed toward the skies when I came, there were clouds. In the 1940s, we all came by the crowd. A medium for freedom, art be the only reason my people even get shown love by Europeans. But hey, I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. Shout out to Queen Josephine cause she opened up doors. Yeah. We getting money in Lyon. We getting money in red. God paid it for it.
I'm miles out in Paris with the B.Vion. I can't even pronounce it, but B. Vion is I forget his first name. Sorry. It was an ally during that time. Polyglot, whatever the fuck, multi-talented, everything. Musician, painter, writer, that was very helpful to Miles and a lot of people as I read and study during that time. So I wanted to give a shout. I'm miles out in Paris with the B.Vion.
I'm miles out in Paris with the B.Vion. Cover up my human nature cause it's starting to rise.
Cover up my human nature cause it's starting to rise. Strong play the trumpet when she's part of the thighs. Human Nature, funny enough, guys, Human Nature was written by one of the guys in Toto who wrote the song for his daughter, who was young in elementary school, I believe, and just got like a boy was hitting her. And he's like, oh, he probably likes you. Why? Tell him that is human nature. Why? It's a Total song. Fucking, they were in there like mastering, mixing Africa. Somebody played the song for the demo of that song for Quincy Jones. And he said, give it to Mike, and boom.
Looking out across the night, the city winks asleep as I...
man. In the 1940s, y'all came by the crowd. A medium for freedom, or be the only reason when people only get love are Europeans. I gotta get mine. I gotta get yours. Shout out to Queen Josephine because she opened up doors. Just always saying, like Harriet Tubman, like these names, B.Vion, Miles Davis, Josephine Baker are important to me, are important to the culture, are important to humanity. What Josephine endured, what she did, what she, I won't say endured, what she conquered to be so great and beautiful. And I'm just talking about physically, but to shine. She deserves her name said and replayed and replayed. So does Mr. Vion. So does Miles. Yeah, man, just being a good person. You deserve to be remembered and respected and saluted.
Bonjour Jean, qu'est-ce que vous faites ici? Qu'est-ce que vous faites ici?
Non, je ne parle pas anglais. Non, non, je ne parle pas anglais. Mais vous parlez français, n'est-ce pas?
I was on my way to the studio today, and it's a turn. It's a blind kind of turn where people can cross, and being that there's a lot of houseless people, it's usually not an intersection that was used too much over the years, but now that people are living on sides of the freeway, it's a thoroughfare. So when you make that right, there is a crosswalk there. I don't know why the city has not put another signal there. It's a weird corner, but someone has to figure it out. And I always wonder if someone got hit. Today, a man got hit, a houseless man with a bike, baby carriage on the back with a dog inside. So the dog got thrown out or hopped out. I see it knocked over like the little baby stroller thing you attach to the back of the bike. There's glass, man's on the ground, his bike's on the ground, car stop. They're yelling at each other. I think the man's intoxicated and that got hit, and car drives off. And usually like I love Jesus, man, so I'm always trying to do the Christ-like thing, man. And but usually like I got so much going on. I got kids. Like I was listening to a rapper today, No Big Deal. One of the guys that I mentor sent it to me, and he was funny. He was saying after I'm listening to this kid's album, when someone sent it to me Sunday. I don't like to listen to secular music or just to hip hop because could be so negative. I give myself Sundays to listen to anything but rap, whether it's jazz. But I try to do a little gospel and shit. So it's gospel rap, whatever it is, Christian rap. He might not call it that, sorry. But it is. And to me, so I parked the car. I'm like, you know what? Today I got time. Today I got time, cuz. I'm going to help this dude. So I pull over on the side of the freeway, which is kind of sketch. Look, hop out, run across, almost get hit. And then help him pick up the thing, and his thing is destroyed. His stroller, he carries his belongings in, his dog, is fucking destroyed. His bike is cool. I pick his bike up, put it on the curb, pick up his stuff, I help him. And I said, you know what, man? And we have one of those strollers. We have lots of kids, and all of my sons, I think, have ridden in this thing. But now that we have so many kids, I can't really get on a bike without all of them getting on the bike, and it's just a mess. So we've kind of just been waiting till everybody gets a bit more road ready before we start another biking squad, And I'm a hit boy, hoarder and training boy, not the producer. So I have a lot of shit, so I'm trying to get rid of shit at all times. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I said, hey, you know what, man? Like, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to I have one in my house. I'll give you a new stroller carrier thing. Are you serious, man? At this point, I haven't really looked at it. I've been trying to get this shit out the street. I look up, and cuz is wearing a Trump 2024 hat. I said, doggone it. Oh, look at you. Look at God. I said, yeah, man, I'm going to bring it back. If I had seen it before I got that out of my mouth, I probably wouldn't have. I'd have been like, you good? You good? You straight? All right, God loves you. Jesus loves you. I'm out of here. I'm about to go to the studio. But I was like, fuck. But not really. And if you see my Instagram, like a few years ago, me and my son went to NASCAR, and there was this white family that was behind us wearing, what is it? What do they call it? Let's Go Brandon. And if you know the story or not, it's a story about an announcer. The crowd was screaming, fuck Joe Biden. And the announcer at NASCAR couldn't hear well, because if you've ever been in NASCAR, it's loud as fuck. And she's like, the crowd is chanting, let's go, Brandon. They were saying, fuck Joe Biden. So a lot of people who hate Joe Biden or don't like him will wear Let's Go, Brandon t-shirts. So
all of our partners, oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn?
We're at NASCAR, but we're in South Central at the Coliseum. I'm with my son, and he loves driving. He loves cars. So we sit, and there's a whole family with Let's Go Brandon t-shirts behind us, like 8 to the father, who has to be probably 60 or 7, late 50s. And my son is too loud for him, and he's having a hard time. I was like, fuck, I should have brought the earbuds. Well, I wasn't thinking. But I had never been to a race at the Coliseum, and they weren't going that fast, so I didn't think it would be as loud as Fontana or Vegas, or Fontana or Phoenix, where I've been before. And I was like, shit. And then the dude tapped me on the shoulder, the white dude with the Let's Go Brandon t-shirt, and gave me some earplugs for my son. And I was like, man, it's just humanity transcends all this shit. And now I had a chance to live by that and repay that guy. So I drove to the next. I told him, give me 20 minutes. I drove to the next exit. Had to get off, drive back home because I was already on the freeway. I couldn't got next exit was far. Did the circle. Went and ducked the shit out of the fucking Hoarder Haven, aka my garage, and pumped up the tires for cut. Like did everything, cleaned it out. Put down the seats because I'm in a Honda Fit. Like, had to make room for the shit because I had more shit that I'm trying to get rid of back there. And drove it to him. And then I brought it out the back and, like, you know, parked it legally real quick, gave it to him. And, of course, I think he got his working. He was like, oh, it's still a little wobbly. I'm like, fuck it, just have to. Like, fuck it. But in my head, I'm like, man, all my kids rode in this. But this is how hoarding works. Like, I have an attachment to this thing. All of my sons, I've rode around Inglewood in this fucking thing, up and down hills and Crenshaw and Van Ness and, like, you know, Imperial. Like, this has history. And I bought it from the only black-owned bike shop in Tucson from my longtime friend Duncan, and now he doesn't have the shop anymore. And it has meant a lot to me, but that's hoarding. You know, that's what keeps us keeping things. Like, I still have those memories. So I gave it to him, even though he had it, his was working. Now he has two. And then the first thing he said, I'm going back. All right, man, I'm going to go back to the liquor store. I told him, look, man, I see you're voting for Trump. I definitely don't fuck with him. But he had changed hats by the time he knew. He changed hats. When I came back, he put on over. I said, I seen the hat, bro. It's not about Harris or Trump or whoever the fuck, bro. It's like, I love you, Jesus loves you, and this is the Christ-like thing to do, so I want to do it for you. Yeah, I love Jesus too, blah, blah. And then the Jehovah Witnesses across the street, I didn't know who they were, two black women sitting down, start whistling and giving me the thumbs up, and I guess they watched the whole thing, like him get hit, me stop to help him, and then me come back and give them the thing, and they were like giving me a thumbs up, and my grandmother's Jehovah Witness, so I felt like I made her proud, and it was just a moment that I thought I'd share with you guys as this world continues to go to shit and we argue about stupid shit. When the shit goes down, you never know who's going to have your back. It's about who's a good human. And I definitely, something I learned from Crips and Bloods and shit, like, they're bitch-ass motherfuckers on both sides. There are hoe-ass niggas from my neighborhood, and there's some real-ass niggas from a rival neighborhood, period. And when the chips are down, you got to find the real ones and get to work. And that's it. But I don't want to end it like there because the last Comic-Con story is panel went great. I got to see with DJ Lance Rock. DJ Lance Rock is not who you think he is. Or maybe he is who you think he is. I don't know. His knowledge of music just amazed me. Everybody on the panel is amazing. Shout out to Deity. Shout out to Wild Child from the Loop Pack. Lance Rock. I forgot this gentleman had these hip-hop comic books. The city of New York asked him to do a graphic novel describing the history of hip-hop. And they printed 100,000 of the issue and gave it out to all New York public schools, which I thought was dope. And now they're doing 3 more chapters covering the 5,000 or so documented history of music, and then going, because it stopped at 2006 with Hip Hop Is Dead, and then they're going to go from 2023 backwards into the other volume. Just amazing. People doing amazing work. And DJ Lance Rock, man, we held, like, he didn't get to speak really almost to the last spot. And my kids were there, and I thought they would freak out. And they weren't responding the way we thought. Like, afterwards we got the picture, and I was tripping. I was like, why aren't they? This is DJ Lance Rock. Like, these kids grew up on him. My kids, especially the new baby, Gogo loves Joe Gabba Gabba. That's his shit. He was scared, of course, he's a baby. But you're at Comic-Con. These motherfuckers thought Cuz was cosplaying. They thought he was the cosplay DJ Lance Rock who came out today. That is funny. And then today, I think my wife I'll get the story, but I had to explain to them, like, no, that was DJ Lance Rock. But he had a lot of, like, he was describing at how it came together. Like, they didn't think a black man could host a show. He'd scare kids. And he was saying for him, it was like the song Black Man by Stevie Wonder. He's like, I learned a lot from that song. So that taught me music could be educational.
First man to die for the flag we now hold on was a black man. The ground where we stand with a flag held in our hand was first a red man.
then the Jackson 5 cartoon was on. It's like, I'm a kid and Black people can be fun, and music also can be a cartoon, and it can be educational.
Don't go too far. It's Far Out right here on TV Land's Super Retrovision Saturdays. Lancelot Link's Secret Chimp is coming up next.
1, 2, 3, baby, you and me.
And then music can still be dance, because after Jackson 5, I would watch Soul Train.
The Soul Train.
And like all those things are in Yo Gabba Gabba. It's like, that's when Yo Gabba Gabba started to form in my mind. I'm like, that's how I knew it could be done, because it was already coming together for me. And it's like scope, and it's just the way he described him. Like, man, this man is like so, his music IQ is so way up, his emotional and like spiritual IQ. Like, man, he got my kids out of their shell, and he was being rushed to get back to the booth. He still took a minute to talk, and it's very rare. I try to be that kind of person when people want to meet and talk to me. It is very rare that it gets reciprocated. Like, I can't stand when you go somewhere to shop or help, and then people are dicks. And I'm like, man, I try to stay at the merch booth and do all the things, and I never get that energy. Rarely do I get the energy reciprocated. And I love people who love what they do and can make time for that. But then at the end, like, they were kicking us off stage. He's like, hold on, I just want to say this. Like, hip hop is beautiful. It brought us all together, blah, 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 blah. And hip hop is even influenced, whether you disagree or not. Like, I'm not here to tell you to vote or who to vote for, but I just love when people are like passionate about their shit and it's pure. And he was just like, put on his DJ Lance Rock voice, and it's like, and it even is going to influence us possibly having the first Asian Black female president of the United States, which would be awesome. And then, like, he said it just in the voice, and I expect the music to come on and go do 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 do. I was like, oh man. This dude just got political and preschool at the same time, and it was beautiful. Love that guy. I love my homie Patrick Reed, who put it on for years. He puts on for the culture so strong. Make sure you check out DJ Patrick Reed. Give him a follow for all things hip hop and comics. And he's helping with the Rappin' Max. Rappin' Max is the first hip hop comic book by Eric Orr. And they're shipping a 25-foot metal statue of Rappin' Max to Paris for the Olympics now. Amazing. And the first person that ever told me about Rappin' Max 10 years ago was fucking Patrick, man. He's such a scholar. And does a great job at telling the history of hip-hop and comics. Yeah, man. And I did a comic called Curse of the Merch Girl. I'm thinking about putting out the version with samples is way more amazing than the version we had to put out as far as musically. The book, I think we could have been better, but the art is amazing. We did it back in the days when you could support Fiverr and not feel bad. Or if you do feel bad, if you don't feel bad. I know people are not doing Fiverr. Found a guy in Mexico who would draw the pages. My friend Josh Playlock from Chicago had a company called Devil's Due Press. He popped up at the Abbey. If you listen to the Pay Dues podcast on Patreon, you know about the Abbey. Great place. He pulled up on a tour for Murs for President, and at some point we'll talk about that. But I was having a real tough time on this tour, and when I say tough, you have no idea. And the squad was going to White Castle, and I may have went to White Castle had it not been for Josh came on the bus. I was not in a good place, but Josh came on the bus and gave me a fucking buttload, fuck ton of comics from his company. I was so stoked. I was like, what? This is amazing. The guy owns and I believe we met, I'm not sure if we met that night or whatever, but it kept me from going to White Castle. But that night, my DJ, Magi, was out at White Castle with a couple other people on the tour. And they went and got a whole case of White Castle. It's California kids got to get White Castle. It's legendary, Harold and Kumar, all these things, White Castle. So they come in a suitcase, these little sliders with lots of onions and like ground beef that's like, when you cook it, it's gray. And on King's Hawaiian rolls, that's how I would describe it. Suitcase full of like 24 of them or something. Chicago though. So they're coming out of the thing, out of the walk-in, Someone's in the drive-thru, and a person in the drive-thru pulls a gun or something, and they all run. They dropped it. And it was so cold out, too, I believe. And then and my DJ said, he said, fuck it. I'm going back. And they, I guess we're just trying to scare them. He just walked in front of the car. The people would just pull the gun on him, picked up the fucking briefcase. It's like, fuck that. And walked off. Like, ran off and then stopped, turned around, walked back, got his burgers, and then came back to the bus. But had I not got the comics and stayed and talked to Josh, I might have been out there, and God knows what would have happened. But my friend being a superhero, that was his superhero moment, or one of many he's had in my life. Great dude. While I was on the bus talking about superheroes with the guy who I eventually created this comic book, Curse of the Merch Girl, he wrote it. We had a great editor. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it's out there. Duck Down distributed the digital version. I don't know if there'll be a part 2 somewhere. There's a young lady that keeps asking about part 2. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know. But it was great to do a graphic novel, and went from being able to go to Comic-Con to having a booth at Comic-Con. And now I'm on panels. Like, being on panels, having a booth where I sold my graphic novel that everyone on Kickstarter, shout out to you that helped me fund it. And the CD, if you have the CD of Curse of the Merch Girl, that's the original dope-ass version. The dope-ass music that shows what DJ Foundation really can do.
In the beginning, the pages are void. This story here begins with a girl and a boy. Everything was bliss, every moment was enjoyed. Never once thinking that it'd all be destroyed. But the boy had a band, and the band had a buzz. They played a lot at local spots and rocked at every club. The girls around town thought that Dom was a scrub, but she saw Dom for the star that he was. She supported everything Dom did to the fullest. Stayed when she shouldn't, even put up with his bullshit. Because she knew that he was brilliant. Even if he never made millions, he'd be the father of her children. Nothing could come between them and the future they were building.
One of the most amazing things about this song is that Mr. Len does the ad-libs for all the crazy shit I'm saying. He makes it sound so dope. As I listen back to Murs for President and listen to 316, Ninth never let me do ad-libs or overdubs and say, like, when you double a word or a phrase in a song. So I got out of the habit, and now ad-libs are the most popular thing. Every rapper has signature ad-libs, and maybe I should have added them and fought for that with Ninth, or maybe it wouldn't have the feeling. And on Murs for President, some songs have it, some songs don't. But I'm not good at it. It comes from doubling, comes from people loving Tupac. Tupac did, "Can you feel me?"
No doubt, they jealous of a nigga's cloud. Tell me, no, can you feel me? I keep my finger on the trigger cause some niggas trying to kill me. And mama raised the Hellraiser. Every day getting paid, police, I'm a pager. Straight stressing, a fugitive marker.
Like, every one song doesn't need that. But there are times when it's an art to it. I've never mastered the art of ad-libs or doubles. But Len has. So if you don't listen to the song for any other reason, listen to hear it. And it's funny that he's so down to ad-lib, like, hand on the ass, picture a hand on the shaft, sand on the, well, taking a picture of my hairy black ass. Like, man.
Hand on the ass, sand on the shaft. Tourists taking pictures of my hairy black ass.
And I ended with Gotta Get Mine, Gotta Get Yours, because he wanted me to do that song with MC Breeze.
I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. Shout out to Queen Josephine, cause she opened up doors. We getting money in Lyon.
And if you want to hear the other song we did, it's strictly on Bandcamp. Make sure you go get it. And thank you for listening to this crazy, crazy, therapeutic, and pure podcast. Love you. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in L.A. podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace, peace, peace.